All right, welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd give you guys an idea of what I go through on a daily basis around how I come up with trade ideas. Hopefully by seeing my process, you will be able to adapt my approach to fit your own style of trading. So let's get into it. So I was looking around at a few charts and FSLY came across my eye as a potential candidate for tomorrow that I will probably trade. Looking at FSLY, I do like how the stock has pulled back to the 50 MA, which is roughly a prior support zone. Now this support zone isn't exact, it's kind of a wide fuzzy area, but my thought is that over the next couple of weeks we could see a bounce in this ticker. It's just a guess, I don't know anything, but looking at previous price action, every time it comes down to near this level, within a week or two a bounce to the top end of this larger balance area happened. So I think there is a trade to be had here. Now the first thing I like to figure out is roughly the area which FSLY could potentially go to. Personally, I think that if a bounce were to happen, we could retest the top end of this balance area like it has before. So my target is somewhere around the 100 to 110 level. It's not an exact target, rather a zone, and that's the zone that I want to try to capture. And then the following step is figuring out the expiration. And there are multiple ways you can try to project the time to target, but I try to keep it simple and look at previous price action. And I can see that in this area between, July 16th to August 2nd, it took FSLY about a couple of weeks to make that move. And from August 13th to August 27th, that's about a couple weeks as well. Here, September 8th to September 29th, about a few weeks. November 2nd to November 20th, a bit more than a couple of weeks. So I think the time frame that I'm going to be looking for this trade will be somewhere around a couple of weeks, with the caveat that, this stock is kind of a degen stock and can move up hard and fast. So it could get there in a week as well. I don't know. So with these two things in mind, I now start exploring the option chain. Now I know that I'm looking for something 2 weeks out. So right off the bat, I expand the January 22nd expiry, and I know that I want to capture something between 100 to 110. So I'll start by looking at the 100 strike, which costs about $1.40 debit. And as you know, I do my best to, try to minimize costs. So I like to sell something against it, and something that's got some decent premium that still allows me to capture a juicy profit zone would be the 150 strike. So I can try to sell one of these here, and right here the cost has now been reduced to roughly $1.14. That's not bad, but I wonder if it can be cheaper, because the cheaper it is, the more spreads I can get, and I like doing that so I can incrementally scale in and out. So I'm thinking, can we sell another 115 call? Let's see what that would look like. And that brings the cost down to about 80 cents, which isn't bad. If you want to risk $300 of debit, you can do about 3 to 4 of these with the potential to make a maximum of roughly 14 bucks per spread. But, obviously I'm not going to be holding the entire tranche till expiration and hoping it pins at 115 to get that max profit. I like to scale out and take some off at $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, etc. incrementally, and maybe leave one on for funsies, just to see how much I can milk it. Now, typically with ratios, the potential risk is that the stock moves to the target too early, because if that were to happen, the extrinsic value in the shorts would be working against the longs. Remember, with these 1/2 ratios, I've got 2 times the short calls versus the long calls, so those short calls will work against me and give me too much negative deltas if the underlying gets there too fast. But will I really be in trouble if FSLY gets there too early, like say, with a week's worth of time left in the trade? Now, the good news is that we can easily know this just by shifting our spread forward in time and strikes. What I mean by that is, my concern is that if FSLY arrives at the short strikes of this 15-point wide ratio a week before expiry, will I actually be losing on the trade? To easily figure that out, we can imagine the scenario where we have a 15-point wide ratio that expires next week, where its short strikes are at the money, right? So going to the January 15th expiry, and scrolling down to the at the money strike, which is the 87 calls. So I'll be short 2 of these and long one of the calls 15 points deeper, which is the 72 strike call. And you can see that the spread is actually worth $7.35, which means if I put on the January 22nd 100-115 call ratio for what we previously saw is going for 80 cents, and FSLY moves to the short strike by January 15th, which would be a week before expiration, that 100-115 call ratio will be worth around $7.35, which is huge. I mean, you're talking, 80 cents to $7.35. That's almost 10x. So that right there would make me feel comfortable about this trade being a ratio. However, if it helps you sleep better at night, you could always just buy the 130 call for an additional 14 cents to cap off the risk. And something else to consider is, what about buying a 125 strike instead of the 130 strike to make this broken winged, so that if FSLY somehow moons beyond 125, you will actually make money too. So by purchasing the 125 instead of the 130 call, you pay another 14 cents to get rewarded, about $4 per spread if FSLY goes to infinity. These are just some of the trade-offs to think about. Coming back to the chart, personally, I don't think FSLY is going to really break through prior resistance in 15 days, but maybe you think that, or you're willing to pony up more of a debit, that's fine. The world is your oyster. I'm probably going to be putting on the ratio tomorrow. If price is favorable, we'll see, or maybe a condor, I don't know, but you'll know right away when I share it on Twitter. So anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys for today, my approach to coming up with complex spread trade ideas, how I pick which expiry to trade by just looking at previous price action, how I judge my risk with the spread I pick, and all that good stuff. So hope you enjoyed this one. Good luck tomorrow in the markets, and feel free to join us in our Discord if you want to chat with us anytime, or you could just follow my real-time trade alerts on Twitter. It's free. Links to these in the description below. Until next time, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.